Welcome back to Bike Culture Hub. When a motorcycle name like Suzuki GT550 gets revived, it comes loaded with nostalgia and history. Back in the 1970s, the original GT series carved out a reputation for being smooth, stylish, and surprisingly versatile machines. They were motorcycles that offered everyday usability with a sense of sportiness, while still being approachable for a wide range of riders. Now, in 2026, Suzuki has decided to reimagine this classic lineage for a new generation, and they've done so with the GT550 Neo Classic. This bike isn't just a retro throwback for collectors or older enthusiasts. It's a modern reinterpretation designed to appeal equally to younger riders who want something different from the endless parade of naked bikes and sport machines that dominate the roads. What Suzuki has managed here is blend old-school style with thoroughly modern technology, performance, and safety. The result is a bike that looks like it has rolled straight out of a 1970s catalog, yet feels right at home in 2026. The very first thing you notice is the design. This machine has been sculpted with an obvious nod to its heritage. Round headlamp framed in brushed aluminum, twin analog-style dials sitting proudly on the cockpit, and flowing side panels that echo the lines of the classic GT series. The paint schemes are another highlight. Suzuki is offering the GT550 Neo Classic in a range of bold, retro-inspired liveries: deep candy red, metallic sky blue, pearl white with gold striping, and of course the signature black with chrome accents. Every detail has been considered to evoke the golden age of Japanese motorcycles. Even the tank badges are a throwback design, slightly raised with chrome outlines. And yet, if you look closer, you'll find hidden modernity. The round headlamp is actually a full LED unit with adaptive cornering lights. The gauges may look analog at a glance, but nestled within is a discrete TFT screen offering navigation, gear indicator, fuel economy data, and Bluetooth connectivity. It's a clever fusion of old and new, making the GT550 Neo Classic a motorcycle that respects its past without being trapped by it. Performance is where Suzuki has really sharpened this machine. Unlike the two-stroke triple that powered the original GT550 in the 70s, the 2026 version uses a thoroughly modern, liquid-cooled parallel twin engine. Displacing 549 cubic centimeters, this motor has been tuned for a balance of torque and smooth power delivery. Suzuki could have gone down the high-strung sport bike route, but instead they focused on making the bike versatile and enjoyable for both city commutes and weekend highway rides. Power figures sit around 65 horsepower with a healthy 55 Nm of torque, delivered in a linear and predictable fashion. The result is a motorcycle that feels lively without being intimidating. Riders will appreciate the strong mid-range pull, which makes overtaking effortless and keeps you from having to constantly hunt for gears. The 6-speed gearbox is slick and precise, with Suzuki's bi-directional quick shifter as standard, adding a sporty edge to the experience. On the highway, the GT550 cruises comfortably at speed, with minimal vibration thanks to its balanced shaft system, and in the city, it remains nimble and manageable, never feeling too heavy or cumbersome. The chassis has been designed with equal attention. Suzuki has used a tubular steel frame, inspired by the original bike but strengthened with modern materials for rigidity and lightness. This gives the GT550 a planted and predictable feel in the corners, while still maintaining comfort. Suspension comes courtesy of 41mm inverted front forks and a pair of twin rear shocks, both adjustable for preload. This again ties in with the retro aesthetic while ensuring modern ride quality. Braking is handled by twin front discs with radial mount calipers and a single rear disc, all supported by cornering ABS. Riders will find the brakes strong and confidence-inspiring, with plenty of feel through the levers. Suzuki's traction control system also comes standard, with 3 selectable levels and the option to switch it off for riders who want a purer experience. Another key aspect of the GT550 Neo Classic is ergonomics. Suzuki has deliberately kept the riding position neutral and comfortable. The seat height sits at 790 mm, which makes it accessible to a wide range of riders. The handlebars are wide and slightly pulled back, offering an upright riding posture, while the foot pegs are mid-mounted, striking a good balance between sporty control and long ride comfort. The seat itself has been generously padded with a ribbed design reminiscent of the original GT series. This bike is designed not just for short blasts but for all-day riding, and Suzuki has clearly thought about how a rider will interact with it hour after hour. Passenger accommodation is also decent, with a slightly raised pillion seat and grab strap, though the focus here remains primarily on the rider's experience. When it comes to technology, Suzuki has walked a careful line. They didn't want to overwhelm the bike with too many rider aids or overly digitalize its character, but they also knew today's riders expect certain conveniences. The bike comes equipped with Suzuki Ride Connect, which allows your smartphone to pair with the TFT display for turn-by-turn navigation, call and message alerts, and even ride logging. There are also two USB-C charging ports discreetly tucked under the seat for keeping devices powered on long journeys. The GT550 also offers riding modes, though they are kept simple with just 3 settings: Standard, Sport, and Rain. Each one subtly adjusts throttle response and traction control intervention, making the bike adaptable without being overly complicated. Weight has been kept impressively low at just 196 kilograms wet, which means the GT550 Neo Classic feels light on its feet. Maneuvering in tight city streets is no problem, and on twisty back roads, the bike flicks from side to side with surprising agility. Suzuki has also tuned the exhaust to provide a soundtrack that mixes retro growl with modern refinement. It's a parallel twin, so you get that smooth thrum at idle, rising into a satisfying roar as the revs climb. Many riders will appreciate the way it complements the bike's classic styling without sounding overly artificial. One of the most compelling aspects of the GT550 Neo Classic is its positioning in the market. Suzuki has priced the bike competitively at around $8,499 in the US, making it a tempting proposition for riders who want something stylish, unique, and versatile without breaking the bank. This price point puts it squarely against bikes like the Kawasaki Z650 RS, Yamaha XSR 700, and Honda CB500F. What gives the Suzuki an edge, however, is how authentically it captures the retro spirit while still offering the conveniences of a modern motorcycle. It doesn't just look the part, it feels like a true successor to a legendary name. And for riders who grew up hearing about the original GT series or maybe even owned one, the emotional connection here is strong. At the same time, younger riders who crave individuality and a bike that stands out from the crowd will find this a refreshing alternative to the sea of generic naked bikes. Unique selling points for the GT550 Neo Classic lie in its balance. It's not trying to be a full-on retro showpiece like some European brands. It's not stripped down to bare basics, and it's not overloaded with electronics. As you ride this motorcycle, you can't help but appreciate the way it connects eras. You glance at the tank and C-lines that could have come from 1975, yet you twist the throttle and feel the smooth surge of a 2026 engine. In the end, the 2026 Suzuki GT550 Neo Classic is more than just a revival of an old name. It's a statement that Suzuki understands the value of its heritage and knows how to translate it into a modern motorcycle that makes sense today. It offers style without sacrificing practicality, performance without sacrificing accessibility, and technology without sacrificing character. It's a bike that will turn heads on the street, keep you entertained on winding roads, and offer comfort on long weekend trips. At its core, it's a motorcycle designed to make you fall in love with riding again, no matter how many years you've been at it. That's what makes it special. That's why the Suzuki GT550 Neo Classic is a motorcycle worth celebrating.